Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another amazing episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth, known as Jane or Popeye Spinach. He is the trackle dart of Ringside Society and Delaware's greatest American hero. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. And the second corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always on the go. Catch him if you can. Said his name in Guyana. Now they love him in Japan. The worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. And our special guest tonight is a young lady who's been making a name for herself all over the great city of Atlanta, the home of Southern hospitality, the home of great food, the one place where I can't go because every time I do go, I always leave 10 pounds heavier. Everybody, welcome the owner of Dio Photography, Dezirae.
Hi, guys.
Woo!
How was everybody?
How you doing tonight?
I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Just here, just relaxing. You know, we're just I was just here, you know, watching just binge watching Scandal. Man, that show was really great. And just waiting until like the time for the show to start and whatnot. We're so excited. We've actually seen your photography, and man, I gotta tell you, man, I'm surprised somebody has not hired you yet permanently to be their photographer because you get some great shots there, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I actually really love taking photos at the shows, so it's really fun.
Yeah. So how's the weather over there in Georgia?
It's crazy. It kind of come down today. It's been sunny, but it's been raining on and off randomly for weeks. I guess because of the hurricane. So, but it's supposed to be sunny. It's supposed to be normal now, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I've been to Atlanta a couple of times, and every time I go there, man, y'all are definitely the home of Southern hospitality. Every time I go there, there's always something to see. One time I went to the Water Coca-Cola in downtown Atlanta, where y'all got that's like right across from the
from the like by the aquarium and all that.
And luckily I went there half thirsty because man, that place
I actually used to work there like 10 years ago. It's a very interesting place. I used to work there.
Man, real talk, I would either be one or two things. I'd either be so caffeinated from all the Coca-Cola I'd be drinking there, or I would be so accustomed to seeing Coca-Cola that I'm like, I don't want to see you again. I want some damn Pepsi. Let me get some Pepsi, man. I'm tired of Coca-Cola.
It was a combination of the two, but they do have things there that we couldn't get because they have stuff from other countries. So there are some. So there are some drinks there that you can just go to the store and get.
So I'm 2 states above you. I'm actually in North Carolina, but I was stationed in Japan for 3 years. And when I went to the testing room, the taste testing room, I legitimately saw the same products that I would see in Japan right there in that room. So I'm like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah, they got a lot of so many different products. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I did a whole video on that. Well, not a professional video, but just like a kind of like a bit of a video on things that you see in there and so on. It was pretty cool. And then y'all got the aquarium right next door.
Next door. It was terrible when you were working there though.
Oh, working at Water Coca-Cola?
Like with the aquarium right next door, because it's just traffic and people all the time. Like
I could imagine, man. That isn't that like the largest aquarium in America or something like that?
Something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it is something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But I'd say ATL is always a good time whenever I go there, man. I always have a great time.
Yeah,
I normally stayed in College Park, and
there's always something to
I
do.
got to see some things.
Some things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine in College Park.
So I just so what was the so you're originally from there, right?
Yes,
Born and
I'm originally
raised.
from. Yep, been
Cool, cool.
here
So
forever.
so like any other fan, I just gotta ask you, what was the wrestling event or match or pay-per-view that made you become a fan of professional wrestling?
Um, so I've always watched wrestling, like not like everyone's watched something, but it was really when I went to my first match. I want to say it was NXT. It might have been Raw, but I really think it was NXT when I went to my first show, and you really get to feel like the crowd and everything together. I think that's what did it for me. Like that's what really made me a wrestling fan and love the art of it really. So that's kind of what started it for me. And then ever since then, I've just been into it.
Cool, cool. Yeah, WWE, man. I'm convinced like almost everybody, like their fandom for wrestling starts with WWE. I mean, mine's did too.
Yeah,
Um,
because that's
yeah,
what
like a lot
everyone,
of
that's what
people they
everybody
actually like.
knows.
Yeah, but crazily enough, something. When I first started watching the wrestling, it was even though it was with WWE. That same year, December to be exact, I saw my first WCW match,
Nice.
and yeah, I was like, wow, this is pretty interesting. It's a bit different from WWE. It's not like WWE they always have like the high production and everything, but
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
not as big as WWE. But I could definitely watch this,
Yeah.
and then 2 years later, I started watching it a bit more, and I'm like, yeah, WCW is a nice alternative. I could get behind this.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah,
I
so
think.
growing up, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like now I'm more indies. Like I like the indies, watching the indies a lot more. I think it's more of like I don't want to say real, but yeah, it's more real and like it's not on TV like that, so you can do more than WWE can. So
Oh
it's all
yeah,
type of
yeah,
wrestling.
yeah. Sad to say, but WWE is like a bit of like a machine. It's like
It
when you
is. It
go there,
definitely is.
you gotta change up, and you can't do certain things, and
Yeah.
you gotta like you can't use certain moves and all that stuff. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
don't get me wrong, it's a bigger payday. It's a bigger payday
Oh,
compared to most
absolutely.
places. But, it's
Absolutely.
just certain like rules you gotta follow and whatnot. And
Hmm.
yeah, that's what. But
That's
to
just
me,
what it is
it's
now.
kind of yeah, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like you give up like what you do on the indies, but
Hmm.
you give it up for a bigger paycheck,
More
bigger
people know
payday,
you.
and yeah, and more exposure.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, let's be honest. These men and women have bills to pay. If they don't have families to
Exactly.
feed, they got bills to pay.
Exactly.
Rent is a killer. I mean,
It's
if Vince
coming
McMahon came and said,
regardless.
"Hey," I can tell you right now, if Vince McMahon were to come and say, "Hey, Remy, I like what you're doing on Ringside Society. I want you to make a part of WWE. I want you to have us be a part of the WWE, like
Mm,
part of our podcast network." I'd be like, "Hey, Vince, show
let's
me the
do
money,
it.
man. Just
Right.
one thing. Just keep my crew, Rob and Kathy, and I'm good.
Yep.
Shoot, you know, I'll go. But
Yeah,
yeah, it is what it is.
it is.
So let me guess. I know what your favorite indie is gonna be. You're gonna say your favorite indie that you like going to is it's the Nightmare Factory, right?
I actually haven't been to the Nightmare Factory yet, surprisingly. Every
You
time they
haven't?
have, I haven't. Every time they have something, I like have other stuff already booked. So that's yeah, I haven't been. Actually, my favorite so far is Southern Honor. I would say Southern Honor is
Southern
like
Honor. Okay.
yes, it's in Canton, Georgia. I would say that's my
Yeah, I gotta
favorite.
get.
They have a very good crowd, good production, great staff. So far from what I've been to, that one has been my favorite, and it's a good audience. So I would definitely say that's
I
my
know y'all
favorite.
got a couple down there. One I know about is AWE, Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment,
Yes,
and
AWE
you
is cool
have
too. I like AWE.
WW. You have WWA4, which is ran by Mr. Hughes,
Yep, I've been there too.
and then you also have what's this other one? This other one that's now
Pro
coming up
South.
from United Wrestling Network. Beg pardon?
There's Pro South down here too. There's a lot.
Oh yeah, I heard of them. And there's also a Championship Wrestling from Atlanta. That's the one I'm
Yeah,
actually looking at too, because I'm like,
yeah,
yeah, they're doing it big.
yes.
Yeah, but
There's a
I
lot of
hope I get to
promotion.
go to I hope I get to go to a Nightmare Factory show because they have a lot of good talent there.
Hmm.
I don't know if you've seen our past episodes, but we've had a lot of their talent on our show and their graduates on our show, and
Yeah,
yeah, they're all just doing great for themselves and so on. Um,
yeah. I hope I get to
yeah,
go one soon.
yeah. The way we're going right now, the moment I'm pretty sure if I go in there, somebody's probably gonna recognize me or somebody's gonna recognize Rob if he goes there. They're probably like,
Yeah,
"Hey, Ringside Society, what's up?" Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, what's going on?" Like, thanks for the interview, man. Or
yeah.
thanks,
That'd
or
be
you
awesome.
interviewed us the other day.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm pretty sure they would too. That's awesome.
So, have you ever gone to any WWE events like WrestleMania, SummerSlam?
I haven't
Um,
gone to any. I haven't been to any of the. Well, no, I did in Houston. When they had NXT in Houston, obviously before COVID. That was the
okay,
first. I think that's the only pay per view I've been to. But I've been to like Raw. I've been to plenty Raw, SmackDown, and NXT events when they come to Atlanta. Almost every time they come to Atlanta before COVID. Um, I've been to a lot of those.
yeah. I've been lucky to go to a WrestleMania, and I've been lucky to go to a
Nice.
SummerSlam. I've never been to a Raw or SmackDown show at all.
Really?
Maybe one day I'll go, but I've never been. But
I want to go
I've been to
to.
the rest of the.
I want to go to like either a Royal Rumble or Money in the Bank. Those are two that I really want to, and WrestleMania, of course. But I feel like I'd rather. I don't know. I would experience WrestleMania. Yeah.
Okay. Um, for WrestleMania, if I don't go to another WrestleMania ever in my life, I'm good with it. I already did one.
Yeah.
I'm not that it was a bad experience, but I mean it's just something that I'm glad I did. And I was
Yeah.
supposed to go to last year's WrestleMania, but COVID happened. But
Hmm.
the next two events I just want to check out are Survivor Series and Royal Rumble. I want to check that out as well too,
Yeah. Royal Rumble
because
is
those
my
are like
favorite, so I definitely want to go to one of those
yeah,
one time.
yeah. Royal. So now that you say Royal Rumble is your favorite, what are some of your favorite Royal Rumble moments?
The first one I can think of right now is um the women's one with Bianca. I thought that was beautiful.
Okay.
um, Gosh, I really don't. Who came back last? I'm drawing a blank right now. Um, that's the biggest one I can think of right now. I've
Okay.
watched all of them, but I watched so much wrestling that everything is just I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, that one with Bianca was pretty. That one with
I
Bianca
thought,
was pretty good too.
Yeah, that was pretty. I thought that was a like a beautiful story. She deserved that. So
Yeah. So I like that one too. So one of my favorite Royal Rumble moments, and it's probably like my top favorite one right now, is when Bianca and Naomi, they were scrambling for they were like both like almost about to be eliminated, and they were fighting
yeah,
each other, and then all
yes,
of a sudden they started to like figure out, hey, this is not working. We got to help each other
let's
get
work
back
together.
into get back in. And what I saw, what many people may have saw was, yeah, it's just two girls fighting and they help each other. But what I saw was, two black women, two black queens that
Exactly.
were actually fighting
That's what
each
I
other.
thought. And I
And
really want
then
them to have a match.
yeah,
I want
I
that
saw
so
that. I
bad.
saw the symbolism in that, and I was like, they were fighting, and then they were like, you know something, sister, we got to help each other. We got to have each other's backs and help each
Yeah.
other get back into this match. And I'm glad. I'm
Yeah.
honestly speaking, though, I would not mind seeing those two team up.
That's what I
I wouldn't
really,
mind.
yes. Either a tag team or just a singles match with them would be, that's all I want. That's all I want.
Yeah, throw in if they really want a great black woman, a great African American or Black American female Black American stable, I would say Naomi, Bianca Belair, and throw in B Fab. And best believe
Yeah.
you're gonna got something crazy right there.
Something
That's
crazy
that's
is
going.
about to
I
happen.
would personally buy that merch.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would get that merch.
So you so so you do wrestling photography. So
Yeah.
how'd that come about? Kind of, we know you're a regular photographer. You do like, you're a photographer outside of that. But how did the wrestling photography thing come about?
Started. So my best friend actually started wrestling.
Oh, really?
And yes. And
Who-
so
you know,
Carly Bravo. I don't know if Carly Bravo, that's my best friend.
I know that dude.
Yeah.
Not
So,
I don't know him like, yeah, what's up, yo, Cardi? You know what I'm
but
saying?
you know,
I
yes.
know him like, I know him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. So it was originally like just to get so he could have pictures, for promo and stuff. But I just kept taking pictures of other matches. I think it was Atlanta Wrestling was the first one that I started taking pictures of, and I just kept taking pictures of the other matches because that's what I do. I'm a photographer. I like to take pictures. So, and then actually, when I went home and looked at them, I was like, well, this is actually kind of dope. Like, I like it. And then even there, a lot of the I mean, not photographers, a lot of the wrestlers were kind of excited, like, oh, did you get pictures of my match? Did you get pictures of my match? So then I just kept going to shows and kept taking pictures, and that's where we are today.
Cardi Bravo. That's cool though. I remember I saw him on the first not the first AEW. When I first saw him, I was like, it was him and Captain Sean. I forgot what the guys. Rob, you know the
Shandean,
name of that cat? Like Sean Dean, yeah, Sean Dean,
Shandean,
who's
yeah,
actually he's actually a Navy vet. So I
yeah.
was like, yes, we got two brothers that were veterans and they served and whatnot. Let's see it. Let's see. I
Let's
like
see
that
you guys.
pairing. And yeah, I definitely remember Cardi Bravo, and he was actually in that first student show. He's actually part of the first
Yeah,
class.
yeah. He was in the
I
first
just
class.
remember.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
he
even before matches, he had set up. We actually did a shoot with all of the everyone that was in that class, so they
mhm.
could have pictures to use. So that was the first thing I did, like with wrestling, as far as photos. But then after that is when I started doing matches and stuff.
What? That was you?
Well, the first, I don't know if you've seen those pictures because they were just they're not on the
I think I
they're
did.
not on the Nightmare. You might have. But it was the
I
first
seen I
ones
seen
in the studio we did some.
I've seen some Instagram some Instagram pics where the class was together, but whoever
Yeah.
did those pictures were like, they did a really good job. If that's you, hey, keep up the good work. That was some great work. Shoes, you
Thank
got
you,
me
thank
wondering. Shoes, you got me wondering if you got me thinking next time I go to Atlanta, which Atlanta's not that far, I'm gonna have to give you a call. Like, hey, Desiree, your boy's at Atlanta, man. I'm trying to look good,
you.
trying to
Yeah.
trying to find this is right, and I'm trying. So I need you to get me right, so I can look like America's Next Top Bachelor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, get some shots
You
in.
know,
Everyone
work
needs
that magic and
pictures.
whatnot.
Absolutely. I'm with it.
Uh, but yeah, but definitely like I'm just amazed at how great your work is, and I'm
Thank you.
surprised. Like it wouldn't surprise me if somebody snatches you up eventually. Like, hey, we like what you
I'm
work. We want to hire you on a
very
full-time position. Come through.
I'm actually very like I'm very quiet at the shows. And then to believe it or not, I've only done ringside once. All the other ones I was kind of in the crowd for. But I have a zoom lens, so it doesn't look like I'm in the crowd. So I'm kind of like in the background. People don't really pay attention until they see me post the pictures. So that has a lot to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of in terms of like professional wrestling events,
Mhm.
uh, are there any others that um you want to actually like attend aside from WWE that you're hoping to check out one
Um,
day?
I've actually gone to. I went to AEW. When was this? Like a month ago for Dynamite, and I actually loved
Okay.
it. So I would love to go to like their pay per view, like a Double or Nothing, something, any of their pay per views. I would love to go because I think I might like AEW better to go with. It feels more like what's the word? Like more personable. Like it's all wrestling fans. It's not just someone who had a ticket and they're at an event. Everyone there is a wrestling fan. So it was a great experience. I would love to go to more of their events.
You're right. I've seen a lot of that's you definitely feel that fandom there. So you
Yeah.
want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
Um, Now, Rob, you know this story. You know how this story goes. We saw a guy in a Scooby Doo uniform one time, a Scooby Doo outfit,
Really?
and we were like, I like it. Wasn't we weren't making fun of him. We just liked that fact that he stood out. So
Yeah.
we were like, okay, we made the search, Scooby Doo outfit, the Twitter or whatever, doing our thing. Saw a couple of talking and that talking about him. Then we found the actual person with the Scooby Doo outfit. So I was like, hey, we like what you did there, man. We want to have you on our show for 15 minutes of fandom. We have him on the show. Next thing you know, apparently he's one of three brothers that are wrestling fans.
Really?
He tells us to hit up his older brother who is a wrestling fan. So we have his older brother on the show for 15 minutes of fandom.
Nice.
A couple months later, the oldest brother tells us he's training at the Nightmare Factory. Next thing you know, he shows us a video of him training, working out, and body slamming people and whatnot. I said, whenever you graduate, we're gonna have you on the show. A couple months or a couple weeks later, we see a photograph. Congratulations to the graduating second class or the second graduating class of the Nightmare Factory. And lo and behold, who was in there? The Diamond Sheik.
Nice.
So we were like, all right,
That's
let's make
crazy.
this interview happen. And we ended up as a result. And after that, next thing you know, on AEW Dark, him and his tag team partner from the Student Showcase, the Bodyguard Austin Green, they end up making their debut. And I'm like, well, wow, look at that. It's a good thing we never turn away people from interviews because
Yeah, you
you
never know
never
who
know
they
where
are.
somebody's going to be. Yeah, the fact that we were like, we just sought out, we didn't even sought him out. We sought out his brother. And now
Hmm.
it ended up with going from that to us interviewing him we had him on again as a wrestler. So it's just crazy how life is.
Yeah. How you just
So
meet people and
yeah, I just got one more question before I turn it over to Rob because I'm sure Rob has some questions for you as well. Um, have you ever thought about becoming a professional wrestler? Let me know now because I'll be like, yeah, coming soon. The Desiree interview, not just as
with a
15 minutes of
wrestler.
fandom, but as a main. Huh?
I don't know. Like, of course, I've thought about it, but I don't like pain. Like, I don't
Okay.
think I could handle that. I would definitely
Honestly,
try. but I don't know how I would. I
You
don't know how I would handle that.
you and I are both in the same boat. I would probably be a referee because Rob is training to be a referee. I
Yeah,
would probably do that,
yeah.
or maybe a manager. But yeah, the
I
whole
could do.
bumping,
I could maybe a manager, maybe a manager. But the
yeah, the whole
bumps
taking.
and hearing how hard the ropes are, I don't know if I could do that. I would try. I don't know if I could do that though.
Yeah, I'm too old to be taking them bumps, man. I'm good. I leave that to the young boys like Rob and them, man. Like I'm
And
like, nah.
coordination, all of that, I don't know if it would go very
Don't get me wrong. I could do a moonsault off a diving
well.
board.
It
I could
might,
do a swanton
yeah,
off a
maybe
diving
once
board,
or
but that's
twice, maybe once or twice, but like that's it.
yeah.
I'll be involved in the background somewhere.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
That's funny.
But I'm gonna turn it over to Rob. I know Rob asked some questions. So Rob, go ahead, man.
All right, so thanks, Remy. So what's going on? How was your day today?
It's good. It's good. Long day.
Oh yeah. So you were dealing with storms and stuff too.
Huh?
You were dealing with the storms and all that stuff today too, the rain and thunder and.
Well, today was actually a nice day. I just had a couple of shoots earlier, but yesterday it rained pretty bad, but today it's been sunny. It's just hot, but we'll take that over it raining like it's been raining.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, my light just
Yeah.
flashed. So yeah, I got a thunderstorm. I think it's that remnants from that hurricane making its way here. There's like tornado
Oh
warnings and all
goodness.
that right before I was getting on the show. Like, oh
Yes.
boy. So if
Yeah,
power
we
goes
had those
out,
yesterday.
yeah.
Oh
So if power
no.
goes out, I'll just be sitting here in the dark. You know what I mean? Just be like,
Oh
yeah, we're just
goodness.
gonna go. I'll find something. I'll find something.
Oh
So you were
no.
saying earlier, I had to write it down. You worked at the aquarium.
No, I worked at the World of Coke like 10 years
Okay,
ago.
okay. It was near the
Yeah.
aquarium. Because I was going to ask,
Yeah,
did
it's
you?
right.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, it's just right. It's right next to the aquarium.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, did you swim with the dolphins or anything? Because that's something
No,
I
that would
always
be
want to
cool.
do.
That is
Yeah.
something I would love to do.
Because I
Absolutely.
remember I went to the one in Jersey with my aunt and my mom and stuff when we were kids, and I put swim trunks under my pants, and we rode all the way up there. Got to the parking lot. I was like, boom, I'm taking them off. And my mom was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I got my swim
I'm
trunks on.
ready
I'm
to
going to swim
go.
with the dolphins. I'm hopping in that tank." She's like, "No,
Oh.
no, he ain't going off nowhere. You staying with me?" I'm like, ah. I'm gonna still try
Just
that to this day. Yeah,
right.
any Aquarius. I mean, I think because my sign is Aquarius, I think that's what it
So
is or
is
whatever. I'm born February,
mine. I'm an Aquarius
February
too.
13th. So I think,
February 4th.
oh, okay. My mom, she's February 2nd. She on Groundhog Day.
Yeah, nice.
So sometimes her birthday lasts a long time. You know what I mean? It's a repeat of itself or something like that.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess because I'm Aquarius or whatever, I like the aquarium and all that, water and all. So I'm like, oh yeah, here we go.
That could be it. That could be it. I
Yeah,
like
that
water
could be.
too.
That's cool. So I gotta ask, doing all those camera shots and stuff, like you take some awesome photos, and I'm just like, yo,
Thank
do you have
you.
to have an eye for photography, or can you like, train yourself to it? Because I know if you hand me a camera, I'd just be like, it'd be
I
like, oh yeah, okay, what in the world? Like, yeah, do you have to train yourself, or is just like something you're born with?
I definitely, it's a little bit of both. Like, you definitely have to have the eye for it, but like, lighting matters. And a
Mm,
lot of people forget about that. Like, you can see something, take a picture of it, but if the light's not there, it don't look like
yeah,
nothing. So it's a little bit of both, but you definitely have to have an eye for it too.
that's cool. Now, did you have to go to school for doing photography or anything?
Well, nowadays you don't have to, but I did.
No.
I went to SCAD in Atlanta.
Mm,
Um, it did help a lot. You do learn a lot from that, but you don't necessarily have to go to school for it, but it does help out.
okay. Now, did you have to learn how to develop film like old school style?
Yes.
Like, oh,
Yes.
I had to
That
do that
was
in
like
camp.
I actually
That was
had
awesome.
that I had a photography class in high school that was mostly film based. So that's where it started
Mm,
for me. That's where photography started for me. And I actually like film. Like I've been thinking lately about going back to doing film.
oh, nice.
It makes you appreciate things more because with film you only have a certain amount that you can do
Hmm.
versus digital you can take 1,000 pictures and it'd be 1,000 pictures. So and that also helps you with the eye with understanding
Hmm.
lighting because you only have a certain amount that you can take.
That's true. Yeah, because I get with digital camera, you can just like put in, take 1,000,
Yeah.
and you're like, all right, this is the best one or whatever. Yeah,
And
film,
you
you
can
gotta
see
make
it right
sure. You know what I
away.
mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
be like, oh man, they moved this blurry. Dang. All right, yeah. Oh
Right.
man.
Exactly.
Then when you do it, well, you got what is it? You can't leave the red light on too long, or don't open the door, don't shine a light on the
Yeah.
negatives or something.
Leave
Oh yeah, it's
any
crazy.
like completely
Hmm.
ruined.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had
See,
those
I'm
days.
old school. I come from the time before cell phones, where my friends and I would go to the store, buy cameras, take pictures,
See,
and
I
there's a
miss
dude
those
or a
days
woman.
though.
Yeah, there was to be a guy or girl working there, and you would take it there, and they'd be like, in an hour you come back and get your
Come back.
photos. Yeah,
Yep.
that's where I come from.
I miss those days. Those are good days. Those are cherishable.
Yeah, those are cool. Yeah, I like going back and looking at those photos. I'm like, oh man, yeah, they look so
Because
cool. Even
you
the bad
don't,
ones. I'm like, I miss
yeah.
this.
Because by then, by the time you take it out there, you didn't forget what you took pictures of. So when you
Hmm.
get it, you're like, oh,
Yeah, and I didn't even know what a selfie was back then. I never thought about,
yeah,
like, you know.
yeah. That wasn't that common back then. It was
Yeah,
funny.
I guess because how bulky they were. You didn't, well, you have like,
Yeah.
yeah, you couldn't see
Half your
either, so
head
you
in
might be
it.
like, yeah, that's right.
It was funny.
So what was so when you've only did one show where you're like ringside doing the photography and stuff. Now, did you
Yeah.
ever get into ways you have to dive out for your safety or anything? Anybody
It
coming
was
towards you?
Ringside was so interesting. Like I like it. I'm actually doing Ringside tomorrow too.
Okay.
But it was interesting. There were a couple. Now I forgot who it was, but it was another. It was a videographer there that told me beforehand. He was like, just watch out when you're doing tag teams
Hmm.
because anything could happen during a tag team. You can't.
Yeah.
You're not only watching the two in the ring. You got to see where everybody else is because you're in their way. So
Hmm.
you got to watch out to what's going on around you too. But there were definitely like when they come out of the ring and stuff, certain moments where you gotta quickly get out the way or you're gonna get trampled. But it was fun. I loved it. It was fun.
That's right. And one of my questions were, when's your next show? And you said tomorrow. And where's that going to
Yes.
be?
It is at WrestleLana. It's gonna be at Center Stage tomorrow. Yes, and I do have tickets on Ticketmaster right now.
Oh, where you gotta go to Ticketmaster. Oh, nice. That's what's
Yeah,
up.
it's on Center Stage is pretty big down here too. So it's like in the center of
Okay.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I haven't been to Atlanta. I think I've driven by it or wherever going to Florida. But I haven't I haven't been to Atlanta, so I don't really know too much of what's going on.
Yeah,
I
you
just know
gotta
about the
come.
Falcons. I know
Yeah.
about the Falcons and all that stuff, but yeah, I definitely need to. Yeah, I'll come there. I'll go down there. Just
Yeah, it's
yeah,
a lot.
Georgia or whatever. Yeah, Georgia though. I know I stopped there and everybody there was offering me sweet tea. Like, y'all want sweet tea? Y'all want
Yeah.
sweet tea? It's like, all
You
right.
know what's funny? I actually hate sweet tea.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's a rebellion thing or what, but I'm from the South and I absolutely hate sweet tea.
That's oh yeah. Yeah, because I heard this like a religion down there. It's like yeah, you're
It
like
is.
what?
It's like what?
Yeah, like that, like vampire.
I know.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. It's funny.
So you were saying you've been to a lot, Raw and SmackDown shows. Are there any
Yeah.
coming up in Atlanta near you? Any Raw or SmackDowns?
I saw something briefly. I have to look into it. I think in January
Mm.
that's supposed to come. I think it was Raw. But I saw it like it was a commercial or something. So I didn't
Okay.
really, and then I just never went back to it. But I think in January they're supposed to have something here. So I'm gonna look that up again and I will probably be there.
That's cool. That's cool. So how are the Atlanta crowds and stuff? Are they pretty
The
wild? Are they loud?
Yeah, like majority of the ones I've been to have been here. It's a pretty good crowd. It's a pretty good crowd. It's a
Mhm.
mixture of people who actually watch wrestling, and it's a lot of people. I've noticed it's a lot of people who bring their kids. Their kids are more into it. I think that's funny to watch to me sometimes because kids get so passionate and into the matches. They get so emotional. I love watching them watch wrestling. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah, that is great. Yeah, I know. I'm up here in Delaware. I'm right by Philly and stuff. They got SmackDown coming September this month. I think the 23rd or
Nice.
something. And my buddy, he's so happy to go because he gets to see Roman Reigns. Because every time we talk or whatever, we'll play on Xbox or something, or I'll go there, we'll hang out. He's like, I'm the tribal chief. This is the bloodline. I'm like,
Oh my
oh my
god.
god. Yeah, so we gotta go up there so we can see Roman Reigns. He can be like, this is the
Yes.
bloodline.
I would make his life. Have all
Yeah,
of
oh
Roman's
yeah.
gear on.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because last time we went, he was like, it was before COVID. He was like, "Come on, I want to see the Almighty Bobby Lashley." When Bobby Lashley come out, it was like, "Almighty!" We had to cheer for Bobby Lashley and stuff. We were like the
Yeah.
loudest people there.
That's awesome.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
wrestling
yeah.
shows are fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, the Philly crowd, they get a bad rap. I mean, they're loud and they're wild and all, but yeah, they get a bad
Really?
rap.
I
Yeah, they
really
get
want
a
to go
bad
to
rap.
I want to go to shows in different states. Like I've only been to Houston and in Jacksonville to different
Mhm.
shows, but I do want to go in different states and just see how different the crowds are. 'Cause,
Yeah.
every like Chicago, I can only imagine how
Hmm.
Chicago is.
Yeah. Yeah. You got Chicago, New York, Boston. I want to see like
Yeah.
L.A. crowds. They're probably. I assume that they're all laid back, chill, like kind of Matt Riddle
Yeah.
style or whatever.
Right.
I assume
I
that,
would
but
love
it
to
might
see
not be
that.
like. Yeah, it might
Yeah, I
not
would
be
love to
like
see
that, but
it.
I just assume. Yeah, I just assume.
Mhm.
So, yeah, what kind of camera do you use? Like, if you're, say somebody's trying to, want to start out, like getting a camera or whatever, wants to start
Yeah.
taking, professional looking pictures, what do you recommend starting out with or whatever?
Well, the first camera I had was an Nikon D3000, and it was a pretty good camera to start with. Like it lasted me a very long time.
Mm,
Right now I have a Canon. What do I have? A Canon T7. Um, I really want to. I used to have a Mark III, but it like I bought it from somebody, and like it just wasn't working the way it should have. But I plan on getting another one of those. But really, to start off, I would say the T7 is pretty good. An Nikon T7 is pretty good starter camera. The D3000 I have, I don't know if it's considered super old now, but that was a very good starter camera for me too.
that's cool. And now, when you use a camera, do you have the long, like, lens, like, when you're using it, you got the, like, extended thing on there, like,
Yeah. Yeah, so
zoom? Yeah,
when
like you said,
like
the zoom.
yeah, so when I'm not on ringside, I usually do use my zoom lens. But when I am,
Okay.
I just use a regular just a regular like kit lens is what it's called. Yeah, when I'm at ringside.
That's cool. And when you're done, you just take them home. You just develop them right on your computer. You don't need like an app. You don't need to edit it or anything. You're just good to
Yeah,
go.
well, I do. I'm very like I like to edit my stuff. So it takes me a while
Okay.
sometimes. I try and do it quickly, but I do like I use Photoshop and Lightroom. I do like go through, look at them and kind of edit them a little bit, make them pop a little more.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah.
So that little bit makes the great shots like one of those perfect shots, right?
Yeah. Just give it a little bit extra.
That's right. So do you ever know when you got the perfect shot when you take it? Are you like, oh yeah, I think I got a good shot, or is it when you're looking back, you're like, ooh, whoa, where'd that come from? Okay, I surprised
I've had
myself.
both. I've had both.
Okay.
There's sometimes because I don't really look at them during the show. Like I might look at them like if there's an intermission or, some downtime, I might look at a couple. But as I'm shooting, I'm not really looking at them. But I can see like, okay, I know I got that shot. Like I know that's a good shot and stuff like that. But there have been times afterwards, like, yeah, I really got that. Like that was a good shot.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah, because I can't imagine that. Yeah, you're like, going through the picture, like, oh, yeah, where I come, like, oh, okay, where'd that come from? Yeah, I had somebody else
Yeah,
working with me. Yeah,
I do that.
that's right. That is awesome.
Yeah, I've had those.
So, so they got some like pay-per-views coming up. Are you excited for any? Like, I think AEW is Saturday or Sunday. Are you going to check it out, or are you got things to do?
Well, the weekends for me are usually the busiest.
Okay,
So
yeah.
so I try to watch. I usually end up watching them afterwards. Um, but I try to watch them during because if you watch it afterwards, you're gonna see stuff that happened because social media. Like
Yeah.
so at some point, but like I try to watch them during, but I do love watching the pay-per-views. You never know what's
That's cool.
gonna happen.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, because you doing your photography, that's probably because everybody's mostly off on weekends and stuff. You know, they're like,
Yeah, my
yo,
weekends are
book on the
usually the
weekends.
busiest.
Yeah. So okay, so how long is like a session usually take? So say like, a mom, dad, like a kid or two, they're like, hey, can
Yeah.
we get photos? Like how long is that? Like an hour or two or
Yeah, most of mine are even or usually like between 30 minutes to an hour. I have some
Mhm.
that are because I do lately I've been doing a lot of people who have like boutiques and stuff. So
Okay.
those might be like 2, 3 hours long. So it depends on the session, but majority of them are about 30 minutes to an hour.
Okay, that's cool. Now, do you come up with the ideas like, oh, y'all should like, do this, like, like,
Yeah.
yeah, like that. You deal?
Sometimes I do, but some people have their own, like they know
Mhm.
exactly what they want to do.
Okay.
And sometimes we put both our ideas together to come up with stuff. So a little bit of everything.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh man, see, I wish I was I had that eye for photography and stuff. Yeah, I don't. I mean, everything mine would be blurry. There'd be fingers in the way, and then the lens and stuff like that. Like, oh, it's like, what are you doing? Be like, oh no, that was a dog over there. I seen. I thought it was a dog. Like,
Where's the dog?
yeah, and be like, man, I think he ran off. It's like, oh Lord.
That's funny.
So I do gotta ask, who are your favorite wrestlers you like watching nowadays? AEW, WWE, Indies,
Um,
whomever,
that's funny
whatever
because I've been thinking
Simtex
about
is.
this. I've been thinking about this. I don't think I really have a favorite. Like right now,
Mm,
I don't think I really have a favorite. Of course, like Kenny Omega, I'm always gonna watch him. I like Darby Allin.
mhm,
Um, WWE lately has not been impressing me, to be
mhm.
completely honest.
Yeah.
They just haven't been doing it for me. So I don't. I'm glad Becky came back. Like that's awesome. The way they did that match, I didn't like that,
Oh yeah.
but but I'm glad she came back. Yeah, I don't like right now. I can't really say I have a favorite.
Okay. Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, you just want to go out there and enjoying it.
Yeah, like I've actually been watching a lot of like indie stuff like on YouTube
Oh, okay.
lately. I really like Will Ospreay. I really love him.
Ooh,
He's
okay.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So I've been watching like lately. I've been watching mostly besides the pay-per-views. I've been watching mostly just random matches that's on YouTube.
Hey, if you ever come across one CW, you might see me in some of that working security or whatever.
Really,
And one match, I even get beat up. The wrestler beats me up.
really.
And I'm
I'm gonna have to
yeah.
find that one.
It's Ty. It's one CW. It's Ty Awesome versus MTV. At the end of the match,
Okay.
he goes crazy or whatever. I'm security. I gotta go stop him or whatever. And that's what I got for trying to stop him. And it knocked me out. Oh
I'm
man.
gonna have to
For the
find
next
that
2 days.
one.
Yeah, next 2 days I was sitting here. I was like, "Will somebody answer that damn phone?" It's like nothing's ringing. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's what happened. See,
Yeah,
that's
that's
and
what.
you see, that's why I can't be a wrestler.
Mm. Yeah,
That's
I was like, yeah,
everyone.
I'm gonna be. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna train to be a ref. Da, 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 and I still had to learn how to
You,
take bumps and run the ropes and stuff. All
yep.
right, all right. Well, I might as well.
You're an official wrestler, is basically what's happening.
Yeah, I have had a couple practice matches. Those are awesome. The first
Nice.
one I had, yeah, the first one I had was like 5 minutes or whatever, and I wanted to bring shape, and I was like, after it was done, I was like, yeah, how you feel? I was like, I think I'm gonna throw up. Hold on, hold on, let me sit here. I was like, oh
Like
no.
like watching a match, we probably think 5 minutes is nothing, but like if you're in it,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Mhm.
That's why these people
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
doing hour matches,
Ooh.
insane.
Yeah. Yes, we kind of run around, got to get in shape because it's like, hey, well, you're doing the Iron Man match, you're doing it for an hour, half hour. You got
Yeah.
to get down, get up, get down, get up. It's like, yeah,
Yeah. Like regardless of how the match turns out, I'm proud of whoever does that because
oh yeah, that's like, whew, yeah, it's
and you
wild,
can't
yeah.
look tired either.
Mm-mm. That's right. So, yeah, before I pass it on back to Remy, I do want to say, thank you for, taking time out of your day, come on, chat with us about, photography, wrestling, all good stuff. I definitely
Thank
had a
you for
blast.
having me.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
thank
no
you for having
problem.
me.
And I wish you nothing but success with you and your photography business, all the positive things happen to you, your family, and all that good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you. Same to you. Same to you.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Desiree, thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. We know that you're busy, with your photography and everything and planning your next step. But we really and truly do appreciate you
Thank you
giving us this
guys.
opportunity to just sit down and shoot the breeze regarding wrestling and so on with you. Before we, shut down the show, where can fellow fans find you on social media if they want to talk wrestling or if they want to, get that, get a photography session, make sure, they get right for, that
Yeah.
next, that job interview or something, or that LinkedIn profile or just whatever, where can they find you on social media?
My social media for wrestling photos is do photo underscore wrestling. So do photo underscore wrestling. And then my photography
Awesome.
page is do underscore photography. So
Cool. Hey, just a heads up. Now that we know you do wrestling photography, we gonna blow you up and tell them wrestlers, hey, if you're in Georgia, you want to look good, hit up Desiree. You know what
you
I'm saying? She bought that.
should.
She bought that photography life right there.
Yes, I'm all for it. I love
Hey, we'll do
creating.
it.
I love creating, so I'm all for it.
Yeah, we got another guy. We had another guy, Greg Tag. He was in. He's in. I think he's in Dallas or Fort Worth, and he does amazing like wrestler portraits. And like, bro, if I ever go to
Yeah.
Texas, I'm knocking on your door, man. Like,
Yeah, I've
real
been looking
talk.
at a couple of people in different areas, and they have some awesome portraits of people, of wrestlers.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So you repping Georgia right now, man. So I'm gonna definitely tell man, if you're in Georgia, hit up Desiree. She gonna make you look good in one night. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, I
But
appreciate it.
you want yeah, really and truly though. Thank you very much for giving us an opportunity. We're very, very, very grateful.
Yes, thank you
Um,
for having
we're always
me.
grateful. Yeah, no problem. We're always grateful when we have like guests come on and so on. Because it's people like y'all that give us the motivation to keep doing what we do and what we do.
Yes, you
Um,
guys are doing
yeah.
great.
So, but yeah. So for those of y'all watching, if y'all in Georgia, if you're a wrestler, a manager, heck, if you're a promoter or whatnot, or a referee, you want to get a good shot, come see this young lady right over here. She gonna hook y'all up one night. You gotta pay something. I'm gonna tell you right now, you probably gotta pay because time ain't free these days. Time is money, so you gonna have to pay a
Time
little
is
something,
money.
something. But she gonna make you look good.
Yes, I
But
got you.
with that being said, it's about time for us to shut down the show. It's about time for AEW Dynamite. So yeah,
Yes,
we got
time
to
for
go. But
dynamite.
Rob, Rob Bass, before we shut it down, where can fans find you on social media if they want to talk wrestling? And where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at Rob_Base82, and then Facebook and YouTube Rob Base.
Awesome. And if you want to find me on social media, not that I have anything cool to say, but who knows, maybe you'll get lucky. You can find me on Twitter under @TheRemyBlue. You can also find me on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue. It's a picture of me at WrestleMania 28 with my friend Adam, so you can add me on there. Our Instagram is also on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram under @Ringside Society. You can follow us there. We're also on Facebook as a group. Yes, just type in Ringside Society. You'll see the big yin and yang logo. Feel free to go ahead and join us as well. And we're also on, that's also where this episode is actually being streamed. We're also on Twitch under Ringside Society 2019, where this episode is being streamed as well. And we're also on YouTube. Yes, we have a YouTube channel, which is the third platform where this episode is being streamed. So definitely go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't personalize it. Subscribe to all. But we got a lot of cool things coming, like clips from wrestling shows. We got past great interviews, like interviews with the Diamond Sheik, Austin, the Bodyguard Austin Green, many people from the Nightmare Factory. We got legends like Princess Victoria on our show, and many more incredible interviews as well to come. So definitely follow us on YouTube. And we also have a Teespring store where we sell our merch. Check out our store, cop a shirt, cop a tank top, cop a winter's coming up, cop a hoodie and whatnot, and we got coffee mugs and so on too. So definitely go ahead and support us, cop some merch. Money doesn't go back into our pockets; it actually goes back into keeping Ringside Society afloat. Trust me, I'm still eating hamburger helper. So yeah. But with that being said, thank you to everybody that tuned in tonight live. To those of you that are going to check us out later on, thank you very much in advance. And to those of you that hate us, can't stand us, and really and truly wish we would just stop what we're doing and go away, well, I'm sorry, but we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Here to stay.
And we ain't stopping.
For nobody.
So with that being said, we just want everybody to know that we're very well aware that everybody in the Grand Prince and the Parents of a podcast. But we're not your Grand Prince podcast. We're not your Parents podcast. As a matter of fact, come to think about it, we're not just anybody's pod. We're not just any podcast. And yo, Rob Bass, one time for the mind, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the great illustrious photography of Atlanta, Georgia's own Dezirae. Woo! What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. And with that being said, we'll be back this Friday with another amazing episode with an amazing guest. And oh, heck, I'm feeling so happy right now. I'll just tell you right now, our guest for this Friday will be Nightmare Factory Class 1 graduate Abraham Storm. He'll be our guest for that day, for that night. But until then, we're still going through a pandemic. So stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.